Then we spoke about also about long range, of course, and I want not to make statements about it. We decided that we don't speak about it because nobody wants, you know, I mean, this United States doesn't want escalation and etc. So I mean, this we will be out of the questions about it.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being with me again today. My name is Kingsley. So today, I'll have some interesting videos and topic to bring to you. As we all know it, the Tomahawk season has come and go. So, there are losers and there are winners. The um, journey of 1,000 miles to the United States by President Zelensky to beg for Tomahawk missile seems not to yield any results. But I don't think you guys are surprised because I am not surprised by it. And another person who is not surprised by it? President Putin. Because President Putin managed to achieve a meeting via a phone call, and Zelensky couldn't get a Tomahawk missile despite traveling thousands of miles to Washington. So let's get started. So the first video we'll be looking at today is a statement or a press briefing by President Zelensky after the end of the meeting between he and President Trump. So he did a quick press briefing about just some few details of the meeting. So let's listen to it. And as usual, I'll be giving you my opinion on it. I'll be commenting and, we'll be reacting together to the video. So let's get into it, guys. So Trump and Zelensky decided to talk about them publicly. Okay, let's watch the video.
Then we spoke about also about long range, of course, and I want not to make statements about it. We decided that we don't speak about it because nobody wants, I mean, this United States doesn't want escalation and etc. So I mean, this we will be out of the questions about it. Then we spoke about
Yeah, so he said that he don't want to talk about it, of what they conclude about Tomahawk missile. But Mr. Zelensky was the one that was touting or taunting Tomahawk missile as the game changer that Ukraine need to force Russia to the table. So now that he's saying they have decided not to talk about it and that the United States says it's going to be an escalation. So does it mean that President Putin was right all along when he said that supplying Tomahawk missile to Ukraine is going to be an escalation of this war? So that means he was right. And people in Washington has listened to what he said, that is actually going to be an escalation. And you just heard it from Zelensky himself. Zelensky actually confirmed that Tomahawk missile is an escalation that the United States does not want. So once again, President Putin is right, and President Zelensky, as always, is wrong. So let's watch his next statement from also the press briefing he did after the meeting. So let's listen to it.
have to stop where we are, and he is right. President is right, and we have to stop where we are. This is important, to stop where we are and then to speak. If one man doesn't want to, I mean, this other people, other groups will meet and speak what to do, how to manage, how to have the real steps to real peace, lasting, just and lasting peace. This is important. But I agree with President. Yes, both sides have to stop. But between us, it's about Putin because we didn't begin this war. we
Yeah, so that's the second speech. And this speech was related to um, President Trump. President Trump was asked how he sees this war come to an end, and he said that both sides should end the war at their current fronts. So probably maybe that may translate to Russia get to keep what it has conquered, Ukraine get to keep what it has conquered, and what it has reclaimed. So that is where the fourth line is going to be, and that is how the kind of end that President Trump sees this war. That both sides can go home and claim a victory. Sell a victory to their people. You see, this plan has been on the table for a long while, and Russia has offered this plan to Ukraine for a long time. But the problem was when Russia offered this plan, Ukraine was saying that what they needed on the battlefield was a Russian defeat. They won't accept anything less. They won't accept to a ceasefire. They won't accept to a territory swap. What they need is an outright defeat of Russia. But 3 years after, they can't get that defeat of Russia. So now they are ready with whatever plans or whatever means that will bring an end to this conflict. So again, President Putin was right, and President Zelensky has been wrong all along. So this is not like me making a mockery of Mr. Zelensky. But here is the truth that nobody in the West wants to talk about. Right from the beginning, Ukraine doesn't stand the chance. Of course, they can fight back, but they don't stand the chance to win Russia in this conflict. Because even to the Ukraine, a victory was never defined. I've asked so many pro-Ukraine that what they think a victory of Ukraine means in this war. Some of them can't even define it. Now, sometimes I think during this press briefing, Zelensky once said that it's up to them to decide if they will be in NATO or not. But it's not up to them. It's up to the United States. And a victory, if Zelensky claims that joining NATO is a victory, and if this war ends without Zelensky joining NATO, it's a loss. It's a big loss. The Russians don't have any issue with Zelensky joining EU because it's an economic bloc, so they can join whenever they want. The place the Russia has a problem with is NATO, because NATO is a military bloc, so it's different from what EU is. So again, who is the loser and who is the winner? We will let history decide, and we'll see if the lives that have been lost on this battle is worth anything. I mean, to be honest with you, even to the Russians, we need to know if the lives that was lost is worth the territory that they conquered. And we need to know if the fights that the Ukraine has put on for these past years is worth it when they did not get the NATO alliance or did not reclaim their territories. It should be decide who the winner and who the loser is. So let's see another video that I have to share with you guys. It is from the meeting, and President Trump is talking about Mr. Viktor Orban. So let's listen to it.
Because it's a leader that we like. We like Viktor Orban. He likes him. I like him. It's a country that's a safe country. It's done a very good job. He's been a very good leader in the sense of running his country. He doesn't have a lot of the problems that other countries have. And so we've decided that we'll be going to be with Viktor Orban, and I think he'll be a very good host, because it's a...
President President Trump was asked why he picked Hungary for this meeting, and he said, and everything that he said now was his explanation on why he picked Hungary. If you recall in my previous video, I said that the true friend of Ukraine in Europe is Hungary, because Hungary is not looking for an escalation in this war. On the other hand, they have been adamantly talking about peace, which is what I think is more important. To talk about peace in this war, to offer real solution on peace in this war. Don't just pretend that you can do something about this war and talk tough, and at the end of the day you back out like the new chancellor of Germany, Merz. Remember, he ran his election campaign on supplying taros to Ukraine. So, several months later, what was the result? Nothing, because his campaign was built on lies that he knows that he can't fulfill, only to appease to the public that, yeah, a tough leader is going to be in Germany. So, where is Taras? Where is it? Where is Taras? Where is the increased support for Ukraine? All those talked off from Europe, and yet nothing to show for it. And don't even get me started on Mr. Stubb. That is I think the president of Finland. The way the countries in Europe is divided is interesting. They are the ones that talk tough but no action. Actually, the ones that back loud and no action. They are the ones that talk reasonable and take moderate action. And they are the ones that don't talk at all, but they take actions. So, whenever a leader is speaking, mostly from the Europe, don't just listen to their words. Define them by their action. Don't call Mez a tough guy because he talked tough. Call him a tough guy if he follow up on what he says. Now, like Victor Orban, hosting this meeting that will likely decide peace for Ukraine is the biggest action anybody in the EU has done to bring peace to Ukraine. Why? It's simple. When this go down in history, this will be remembered that it was in Hungary that a deal for peace was reached in Ukraine to end the bloodshed. History will judge Hungary by this action, and it will praise Viktor Orban for this. When the leaders in Europe are talking about arming Ukraine with Tomahawk missile, arming Ukraine with this, with Taros, with this, with that, how is that going to bring peace? And who thought it's going to be a good idea to launch Tomahawk into Russia, a nuclear superpower? Who thought it's going to be a good idea? So, when history will judge the leaders of EU and this action they have done, only Orban and a selected few, I think the Prime Minister of Slovakia and all those guys, only few of them would be viewed as his true friend and the preserver of lives in Ukraine. So, there's going to be a meeting between President Putin and President Trump, and Viktor Orban is hosting them. So let's keep our finger crossed and let's hope that everything goes fine in this meeting. And probably this meeting will be the meeting that will bring about peace in Ukraine, because everybody wants that war to end. Wants that war to come to an end. The loss of lives have been, really massive, and it needs to end. If the warmongering leaders in Europe thinks it's time to end it, maybe. And another interesting thing is that Putin is going to Hungary for a meeting where no where no European leaders are invited. The first one was held in Alaska. No European leaders was invited. The second meeting again in Europe. No European leaders again was invited. How heartbreaking will it be? How heartbreaking would they be feeling right now? Because, the first one at least was on US soil. You didn't invite us. Now you are coming to our soil. I am not going to invite us. They'll be going crazy. So it's funny to just see their reaction. And see how they're holding up with this announcement. And of all the people in the world, it has to be Viktor Orban that is hosting them. God. So, let's just hope for the best in that meeting. So, let me probably show you the last video I have here. I think it's from President Trump. So, let's say, yeah. So probably this when Trump is after the meeting, Trump is going back to maybe his home in Florida. He's going to vacate in Florida. Wherever Trump goes to after all this thing. So let's listen to Trump.
I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today, and we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line, wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out. You stop at the battle line, and both sides should go home, go to their families, stop the killing, and that should be it. Stop right now at the battle line. I told that to President Zelensky. I told it to President Putin. Thank you very much, everybody.
So, yeah, that was Trump's suggestion on how to end the conflict. Because the more this thing goes on, the more complicated it becomes. Because, Putin said it the other time that, he was asking for 4 blasts. The next time is going to be 8. And to be honest to you, it started to look like that. It's starting to look like the Russians are advancing on the entire front line. So, if the Russians start to pay in blood for those lands, the Ukraine will never have it back. So that is how it's going to get complicated. Once the Russians have to pay in blood for the land they are about to conquer or occupy or whatever, however it is you want to put it, the Ukrainians will have a hard time getting those land back. So that's why President Trump told them that everything at the front line should stop. And like I said before, this same thing has been on the table for a while, but Ukraine has been dodging it. Their European allies have been telling him to, push further. Don't accept this. Don't accept that. You can reclaim all your territory back, even when they know it's not possible. But I think now the appetite of that war has greatly decreased. In Europe, that's decreased in US, that's decreased in Ukraine. In Europe, nobody again, they don't have that same appetite as before to say, we fund Ukraine till the end. We will send you weapons, we will do this. They don't have that appetite anymore. The whole nation now is facing financial issues. So difficult times and everything. So guys, thank you so much again for being with me today. I just want to bring you this quick update on what happened this past day. So thank you for being with me again today. And please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me as I'm trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.